Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I'm sharing with you 5 brand new track and car mods for Assetto Corsa. We have some super cool stuff on today's list, from some older LMP1 cars all the way to some historic tracks, as well as some fictional circuits as well. Before we get into it though, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my second channel, JC Racing. I just put out a review of the Fanatec QR2, their brand new quick release. If that's interesting to you, that'll be linked down in the top link in the description below. And regardless, if you'd like to see some more broader sim racing content, that's where you will be able to find it. But without further ado, let's get right into the first track on this list, and that is Fuji Speedway from 1968. This has a few layouts: the large, the full layout, the GP layout, the Can-Am layout, which is where I think some lower horsepower GT cars raced in the 60s, as well as an F1 layout, which is pretty much identical, I believe, to the Can-Am layout. But the full GP layout is super cool because it has the super duper wide banking for T1. If you didn't know about the origins of Fuji Speedway, it was kind of originally trying to be like a Daytona for Japan. They were originally going to make it an oval, but those plans did eventually fall through. In the meantime, it was a super cool circuit, and of course it's been changed and evolved into what it is now today. But a super cool layout back in the 60s here. 5.9 kilometers for the full GP layout with the banking, and for the F1 layout slash Can-Am layout, that's going to be 4.2 kilometers. And every layout has 28 pits, so you're even going to be able to get some bigger classic GT grids on this track if that's what you want to go for. But F1 will work around here. Pretty much whatever you want to throw around here will do pretty good. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. Next up, we have the Ferrari 250 GT Lusso. This is an absolutely stunning little GT car from 1963. This was meant to be one of the more civilized Ferraris. It was front engine. This is supposed to be what you were supposed to drive to the track to, and so Ferrari believed that the man needs a more calm, civilized car to get to the racetrack. Of course, it needs to be a Ferrari. And then when you get to the racetrack, that's when you get into one of the faster mid-engine Ferraris. This thing has 247 brake horsepower, 255 newton meters of torque. It just weighs 1,000 kilograms though, and this is just an absolutely beautiful and elegant early 1960s Ferrari GT car, and I highly recommend you try it out. It's made by MNBA, so you know it's great quality. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. Next up on the list, we have a fictional circuit. This is SpeedForce Raceway. This is made by Code F1 and has been converted by Shin 956. It's 4.1 kilometers long, and it is a super interesting layout. It's a very not short layout, I guess, but it's just a very quick layout because basically the whole track is a straight besides some corners at the end. I really love the final Sector 3, if you will. It feels like a big stadium section. You have grandstands going all the way around the perimeter of the track. It's a super cool track as well. Got a kind of like medieval Europe theme. Got some like cobblestone buildings and stuff like that. Super duper cool. 4.1 kilometers long, and it has 38 pits as well, so any kind of racing you're going to be doing around here is going to work. I know fictional tracks aren't everyone's thing, but this is a super interesting layout that you should at least drive around on a little bit. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. Next up, we have the 2012 Audi R18 E-Tron Quattro. This is made by Yezeron. It's in version 0.9, so it's not a full 1.0 version yet, but it has 540 brake horsepower before hybrid deploy, and it weighs 900 kilograms. This is, from everything I can tell, a new scratch-made model. It does use the physics from the Kunos R18, which for some might be a downside, but at the very least, you know the physics are going to be okay-ish at least. for this car. But if you like the early 2010s era of LMP1 racing with the Porsche, the Toyota, the Audi going at it, then this is going to be probably a no-brainer for you to pick up. At the very least, it's a cool car to take some screenshots with, but having those Kunos physics, it does drive pretty well, and it could be fun to race around. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. And finally on this list, we do have the Buddh International Circuit. This hosted the Formula One Indian GP back in the early 2010s. Now, I don't know, I think it does MotoGP, but I don't really think it does much else. I know someone in the comments will tell me otherwise, but that's just what I know off the top of my head. 5.1 kilometers long. Note that the gameplay you are seeing is using the new Pyre extension for this track, which kind of makes it like a, what if this race took place in 2023? I always love those extensions for some of these older and, you know, more defunct F1 tracks, but a super fun and interesting layout. It's one of those Tilka circuits from the late 2000s, or made in the late 2000s, raced on in the early 2010s, and it kind of had the same fate as Korea, and we no longer race there, sadly, due to politics, but a super interesting looking track, and a super fun layout as well to drive in an F1 car. You can find this one down in the link in the description below. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy this video, a like and a sub would mean a lot. Once again, make sure you go check out my second channel, JC Racing. If you're interested in that QR2 review, it will be the top link down in the description below. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.